I've been holding this message and secret message for far too long. And it's very scary to talk about. So I apologize if this message freaks you out a bit. Oh wow. I haven't talked about this in years. Anyway, um about 15 years or so, I've had a dream. The dream, I believe, was sometime in fall. Anyway, not that that matters. But I'm from um, the uptown area of New York City, and there's a reason why that matters. That information matters. So, 15 years ago, I was asleep, and as I wake up to use the bathroom, as most people have done in, in their lives, it happens. It happens to me still to this very day. Um, but in New York City, especially if you live like in a building, um, the the uptown outer boroughs areas, a lot of people like to hang out in the hallways. Okay, so um, as I get up to use the bathroom, I notice that it's it's nighttime. It's nighttime. However, there's there's some light coming in from the window. Not much, and I apologize for the quality of this video. But when I wake up and I look on the wall, I notice that there's something weird that I see on the wall. And again, I apologize for the quality of this video, but when I wake up, I see something like this on the wall, and it almost looks like it's moving, kind of. And I can hear people hanging out in the hallway. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. That's you know, that's that's regular for New York. So I go to use the bathroom. I hear people chilling in the hallway. Cooling out. That's what people like to do, and why they like to cool out. So they're cooling out, and they I can hear them. I go to use the bathroom. I go back to bed. I look at the thing on the wall again. That you know that's come from the light. And when I go back to sleep, I wake up again and I hear the people in the hallway hanging out. And I'm like, oh, wow, I just dreamt this. And I wake up and I see something weird on the wall from the light coming in from the window. But just it's the opposite side of of the window. It's like the opposite wall, I should say. So I'm looking at this thing on the window. I mean, on the wall, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's I don't really think too much about it. I just try to use the bathroom and go back to sleep. And again, I hear people hanging out in the hallway. They're hanging out, they're cooling out, and go use the bathroom. And I go back to bed, go back to sleep, go back to sleep, and when I go to sleep, I wake up again. I'm like, no, this is weird. So I hear people, you know, in the hallway hanging out. The same people, my neighbor. And I go use the bathroom. Again, I see the same image on the wall from the light coming in from the window. And I go use the bathroom. I can still hear the people in the hallway cooling out. This is late. It's like around 2, 3 in the morning, like 3:30 in the morning, around that time, like a couple hours before sunrise. I could say. And again, I go back to sleep, and when I go to sleep, I wake up again in the same freaking dream, man. Okay, and again, I hear the same people in the hallway, the same group, my neighbors hanging out because my neighbors, they're the type of people that they like to hang out always with a crew, like a thick crew, like a heavy posse, always a new posse. Every other few weeks or every other month, they got like a new posse. I'm like, oh. So anyway, so I go again, the same dream, and when I go use the bathroom, this time when I look in the toilet, I can see that somebody had used the bathroom and they didn't flush. Right? They didn't flush. And when 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 I go into the bathroom, I see like that there's some toilet. Like when a female pees, they got a wipe, and inside the toilet, underneath in the pee, I see a leg. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I dig inside the pee, I shake it off, and when I look at it, it's a toy. Now, back in my days, I'm from the 80s. Back in my days, we had these kind of toys that were like wrestling toys, where they weren't like uh, uh, okay in New York City, in that type of area, maybe Jersey, Philly, Connecticut area, you know, they got like especially in New York, they have 99-cent stores, and in these 99-cent stores, they have a lot of like the bootleg wrestling toys, like retro. something something like this. Again, forgive me for for such terrible quality. Again, this is why it's taken me years to make this video because I'm not a video expert. But there's something very important in this message. Damn, this is gonna come out so blurry. Again, forgive me. So if you're ever from like the New York area, you'll know what I'm talking about. They have. Imagine if people made wrestling toys of the jobbers, okay? But as a kid, we loved them. This, these were my things, like, but not more like this, more like this, where it had like, you know, you know, very little underwear, like old school retro toys. Again, I'm sorry if it's coming out blurry or you could barely see it. Anyway, forgive me. I don't want to hurt you guys' eyes. But here's where things get interesting. When I take out the toy that was in pee, I shake it off. The toy was completely nude. Sometimes that happens. Imagine Barbie. You know when we have the Barbie doll and it's nude. It doesn't have details to the genitalia. Same thing with this one. And the toy started talking to me, and this is the message the toy wanted me to give you. The toy says, "I'm a demon, and I want you to do me a favor. Let me know if you could do it or not." And I told him, "Yeah, I'll do it." The demon said this: "I want you to tell the world that voodoo is real, 1,000% real." And I asked the demon, I'm like, "Wait a second. You want me to tell the world that voodoo is real?" And the demon says, "Yes. Tell the world that voodoo is real." And that I asked the demon, "Can I have his name?" And he said, "No, I will not give you my name." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." When I woke up again. I saw the same image on the wall from the light coming in from the street lights from outside. I heard my neighbors with the same crew that I heard in the dream. And I went to go use the bathroom. And the same scenario that happened in the dream, when I woke up, it was the same thing. But there was, when I peed again, I went to go pee. There wasn't, of course, no toy. But the reason why I'm telling you this now is that I started noticing that there's a huge trend with with a toy that's out right now, I don't want to say the name, but it's a toy that I believe celebrities are buying and people are going crazy for. And they were talking about it on I believe on cartoons. Like, that they might have mentioned it, like on The Simpsons. Mine was the Fufu. And when I've been hearing about this toy, I don't know if that's the demon trying to tell me or not. Like, get my message to the world already. I don't know, but that dream legit happened, and I'm sorry that this message took a long time to get to, and a long time to tell. But the dream happened like that, you know. Like, it was like a never ending dream where I kept waking up and I was still in the same dream. And it happened like 3 or 4 times. But by the end, the toy, the demon toy, wanted me to tell you that voodoo is real. Why, I don't know. But I'm sorry for such low quality for the video. But that's the message from the demon.